our lesson today, we will discuss lesson 6.3, which is talking about comparing functions. Okay, to compare the functions, we have different ways. You can count with me, ya Jana, how many ways we can use it to compare functions. How many ways we can use it to compare functions? Hmm.
آه،
أو we can represent الفانكشن through إيه؟ through hmm.
اللي هي اللي أنا أعمل two circles وأحط أرقام
Okay, so this is
شوف
called mapping. And could you please speak in English? This is called
آه،
mapping. Okay,
آه،
and hmm, graph.
the
So we
graph
have mapping, graph, and we have set of order pair, which is relation. And also, what is the fourth type? So we have table, graph, mapping, and set of order pair. So if you want to compare, here in front of us we have the table and the graph show how many words Morgan and Brian typed correctly on typing test. For both students, the relationship between words typed correctly and the time is linear. We want at the beginning to calculate the Morgan's unit rate. So the Morgan unit rates, it's where it's in the table, right? How we are going to calculate the Morgan unit rates, يا جنى? How we will calculate a unit rate? A unit rate is the same like what?
slope
Slope, right? So we are going to choose any two order pair like 2 and what? 2 and 30,
4 and
right?
60
2 and 30. And then choose the second order pair,
4 and 60
4 and 60. Okay, and then we will start to calculate the slope. Hala, you are with us now, right?
yes
Okay, so we were talking about lesson 63, comparing functions. Do you have any questions, Hala?
no yes, thank you
Okay, then we will start to compare or to work together about comparing functions. And we said that we compare, we have to, we already represented functions by 4 different ways, which we can have the information in the table or in a graph or in a mapping, or the first one with a relation with set order pair. And we said the functions is something we will not repeat the inputs 2 times or the x values 2 times. In this part today, we want to know how we can compare functions. Then I have now in front of us a table with informations, and we want to calculate the Morgan's unit rate. And we said the unit rate is the same like the slope. So already we selected 2 points from the table, like 2 and 30, 4 and 60. Then we will start to calculate the slope. Could you please tell me how we can calculate the slope? How we can calculate the slope now?
uh,
Hmm.
y2 minus
Yes,
y1
y2 minus
over
y1.
x2 minus x1
Exactly. So it's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So could you please tell me how we are going to substitute in this two order pair? It will be what? It will be 60 minus, continue, Hala or Jana, y2 minus y1 means 60 minus 30
uh, uh,
over
4 minus 2
4 minus 2. Yes. So the answer, it will be what? 60 minus 30, it will be 30 divided by 2 equal how many? Equal 15, right? Then the
yeah
unit rate here, it will be 15. Then if I want to describe, he said unit rate, so it will be 15 what? 15 words per 15 words per what? Look at the graph here. The vertical line is words and the horizontal line is time. So if you want to describe, so you are going to say 15 words per minute. Okay, so it will be 15 words per minute. And this is related to who? This is related to Morgan's. Okay, let's move to the next one, which is Brian's. Brian's, we have to calculate the slope from the table. So please tell me any 2 points belong to the line. The blue, the black one. The first point is what? Give me any order pair.
0 and 0.
0 and 0, yes. What
Or
else?
2 and 40.
2 and 40. Okay, and then please calculate the slope with me. Hala, could you please calculate and tell me what is the slope it will be?
Uh, the slope y2 minus 1 over x2 minus x1.
Yes.
So be 40 minus 0
Okay.
over 2 minus 0.
Okay, which means it will be how many?
40 over 2.
40 over 2. It will be 20, right? Huh?
Yes.
20 words per what? Per minute, right? 20
Yes.
words per minute. Then in this one, also we can calculate the unit rate from the table. How? We will start on any points here, like this one. So it's 40, and then intersect with the line, and then I will go down, which means she can type, he can type 40 words in 2 minutes. Then this means 20 words per minute. So this was the first part, how we calculated the unit rate for each one. So we have Morgan's unit rate was 15 words per minute, and uh, Brian's is 20 words per minute. Which students type more correct words per minute? In your opinion, which students typed more words per minute? Hmm.
Uh,
Morgan's or Brian's?
Primes.
Brian's, yes. Why? Because he can type 20 words per minute. And Brian's types 4 more correct words per minute. Sketch a graph of Morgan's test results on the same coordinates grade. Brian's results, how are the graph similar? Then we already have for Morgan's, it was 15, right? So we can start with 0 and 15, and then 2 and 30, 3 and 45, and so on. So the yellow line, you can see the yellow line. This is for Morgan's. How both two graphs are similar? How both two graphs are similar? Hmm.
They pass through 0.
They pass through 0. Yes, very good. Then we said that both of them pass through 0. And how both are different? Look at the slope. Which one it will be steeper? And what the meaning of the word steeper? Steeper means what?
Greater or faster.
Greater, greater slope, right? Then both graphs go through the origin. Brian's graph is Morgan's steeper than Morgan's because Brian's rate slope is greater. Okay, then we will say that Brian, was steeper because his slope is more than Morgan's because the rates of Brian's slope is greater. This situation, we have another person. He's going to join us in this question. Kitty types 17 correct words per minute. Explain how a graph of Kitty's test results would compare to Morgan's and Brian's. We said that we have Morgan. He types 15 words per minute, right? And Brian's 20 words per minute. Now we have Kitty. Kitty, it will be where? If you want to compare between
Between
Kitty,
them.
Morgan, and Brian's. Yes, it will be where?
between Brain
Yes.
and
Yes, between Brain and Morgan's. Cheese less than, right? Less than who? Less than
Morgan.
the care. Morgan was 15. Brian's was 20. Then Kitty. Less than who?
Less than Brain.
Yes, less than Brains. And more than
Uh, Green.
Morgan.
Uh,
Morgan. Okay? Then Kitty graph will go through the origin. Then all the graphs will go through the origin. Kitty graph would be less steeper than Brains, but steeper than Morgan's. Okay, so this is was the first question, how we are going to compare between two functions. Let me give you another situation or another part. The equation that describes Jane's test results is y equal 24x. Explain how a graph of Jane's test results will compare to Morgan's and Brains. Did you remember? Morgan was, Hala, are you with us?
Yes.
Okay, Morgan's was how many? His unit rate was
Morgan's unit rate, it was
mm,
15.
15, yes, and Brian's
20.
20, yes. And now we have another person, which is James. James 24x. How we can compare the data now? Huh, 24. He will be bigger than both or smaller or between or what? What's Jane's situation if you want to compare
Bigger.
between
Bigger than both.
bigger than both? Yes, and he should be passing through the origin, right? So Jane's graph would go through the origin. Jane's graph would be steeper than Brian's and Morgan's, right? So this is how we can comparing the functions. We will comparing the functions to find the difference between the two slopes or the relations between them and also between the y-intercept. But here in the previous examples, all of them was passing through the origin point, so we only compare between the unit rate. Any questions so far till now?
No.
The second part to comparing a table and an equation. Okay, so you know that to compare, we can compare table and graph. We can compare table and an equation. Then, Josh and Maggie buy MP3 files from different music download service with both service. The monthly charge is linear function of the linear of the number of songs downloaded. The cost at Josh service described by. Then he gave us at the beginning here. You can take a note about this. For Josh, he gave us an equation, which is y equals 0.5 x plus 10, where y is the cost in dollars and x the number of songs downloads. So he gave us the information, or he gave us the equation, which it will describe the cost for the number of songs downloaded. For the second one, Maggie, he gave us the information from the table. Then we are going to compare between what? Grade 8 now. We are going to compare between what? Between an equation and a table. We will compare between
An equation and a table.
equation and a table. Okay. Then, for the first, find the unit rate of each function. Then directly you want to compare, find the unit rate at the beginning. For the function here, for the first equation for Josh, it's easy to say that I'm looking for the slope, right? So it's there, 0.5. I will not calculate it. I'm going to pick up the value of m, right? But for the second, I have a table. So how we are going to calculate the slope or the unit rate? How you will calculate the unit rate? You are going to pick up what? 2 order
2
pair,
points
right? Which is, it could be 5 and
and 4.95
4.95. And then
and
another one,
10
10 and what?
and
9.90,
9.9.
right? Here is it. And then we will start to calculate the slope. How we will calculate the slope? It will be 9.9 minus 4.95 over 10 minus 5. So the Maggie's slope or unit rate, it will be 0.99. Now, which function has the greater rate of a change? Which function has a greater rate of a change? Josh was 0.5 and Maggie is 0.99.
Maggie.
Which one is greater? Maggie. Yes. Maggie is more. Which means what? Which means what? Which means Maggie, she pays more per songs. Because this one represent Josh, he's going to pay $0.5 for each song because this is represent the unit rate. And for Maggie, she's going to pay $0.99 for each song. Then if you will start to compare now, so we have to compare between the two slopes or between the two unit rates. So we have to calculate the unit rate. Then which functions have the greater rate of a change and what does that mean? This is Maggie's rate of a change is greater and she pays more more per song. We have another question. Write an equation in a slope-intercept form to describe the Maggie's music service. We will back here. We want Maggie's music service. Then, already we have y equal, slope for Maggie was 0.99x, right? Plus what? Plus
0.50.
No, 0.50, this is for Josh. But now we are looking for the equation for Maggie. So y equals 0.99x plus b. Okay? And what's b donated for? B donated for what? For the y-intercept. We will choose any order pair from the table, like 5
and 40 and 95.
4.9995. Okay, and then we will start to replace 5 and 4.95. This is the value of x and the value of y. So it will be 4.95 equal 0.99 multiply. The value of x is how many?
5.
5 plus b. Could you please calculate it quickly? 4.99 equals 0.99 times 5. Tell me what is the answer. 4.95 equal 0.99 times 5. It will be how many? It will be how many? 0.99 times 5. Like 99 times 5. Okay? Then 5 times 9, it's 45. 5 and carry 4. 9 times 5, 45. 45 and 4, 40 what?
40.
9. And we have a
49.
point after 2 digits. Then this, it will be 4.95 plus what? Plus b. What is the next step? What is the
Oh,
next
you
step?
multiply. No.
What is the next step after this one? It's 4.95 equal 4.95 plus b. We can transfer 4.95 to the opposite side because we are looking for the value of what? Of b. Then it will be 4.95. The answer will be what? Grade 8 directly. 4.95 minus 4.95. Right? So the answer it will be how many? The answer it will be how many? 4.95 minus 4.95.
0.
0. So b equal how many? B equal how many?
0.
0. Then now what is the equation or what are the functions for Maggie's? If I want to write the functions for Maggie, it will be what?
Y equal 0.99 plus 0.
I can write plus 0 or it will affect to write plus 0 or it will be, it will be only y equals 0.99x plus 0, but we can cancel plus 0 because the y-intercept equals 0, which means by the end, our equation, it will be y equal 0.99. This is for who? This is for who?
Maggie.
For Maggie. Okay? Then, describe each service cost in words using the meaning of the slopes and the y-intercept. Now we have for Maggie, and the first name was who? We were talking about who? Wake up. We were talking about who?
Josh.
Josh, yes, and Maggie. Josh was 0.50 or 0.50x plus 10. Could you please compare between the two figures? The question said what? Describe each service costs in words using the meaning of the slopes and the y-intercept. Then, here in front of us, we have Maggie's equation, right? And we want to remember, Josh's equation was what? Y equal what? 10. It was 0 point, right? Remind me, 0.5x plus, did you remember? It was 0.50x plus what?
No, I can't remember.
Plus 10. It was y equals 0.50x plus a 10. And this is Maggie was y equals 0.99x. Describe each service cost in words using the meaning of the slop. So we want to translate the meaning of the slop first. The meaning of the slop means that Josh pays a $10. Please let me back to the question. For Josh was 0.50x, right? Plus 10, right? Okay. So this was for Josh. Josh pay a $10 month fee. So we have at the beginning, we have initial value, right? For Josh, he has initial value at the beginning, 10 as a fee, as a basic money, and then per month he's going to pay $0.5. But for Maggie's, she has no monthly fee because her equation started from 0, which means she doesn't have any fee, but pays $0.99 per song. Understood this part?
Yes.
How much does it cost at each service to download 20 songs? If both of them want to download for 20 songs, could you please calculate for Maggie? We want to calculate for 20 songs, which means we are going to replace which number by 20? Which number? X or Y? she want to download 20 songs. Then we will replace the value of X. And for Josh, 0.50 times 20 plus 10. Could you please tell me the answer? Hala and Jana. Please tell me the answer. 0.99 times
0.99
times
times 20
20.
equal 19.8.
Exactly. It will be 19.8. Okay, so this is for Josh. What about Maggie? Sorry, the first one was Maggie. Second, Josh, please calculate. It will be 0.5 times 20 plus 10. It will be 20.
20.
Okay, so if you want to download 20 songs, then Maggie's option or Maggie's plan, it will be 19.8, and Josh, it will be $20. Okay, you are typing to choose between these two music services. How could you decide which service is better for you? Huh? How,
Josh
Josh? Why?
is still big, I mean, bigger or greater.
Is 20. If you plan to download fewer than 20, يعني this is in case if you want to download 20. If you want to download 20 songs, then for Maggie's plan, it will be 19.8, and for Josh plan, $20. If you plan to download fewer than 20 songs per month, then Maggie's offer is better because it's cheaper. It's 19.8. This is if you want to download only fewer 20. But if you want to download more than 20, which one it will be better? Let me check with
Uh,
you. If you want to download, for example, 40. Yeah, let's count. 40. 0.99. Could you please calculate and tell me? 40. Okay, 0.99 times 40. So this is an offer for Maggie
equals 39.6.
times 40. It will be
39.6.
39.6. Yes, 39.6. Let's check with Josh. 0.50 times 40 plus 10. It will be equal how many?
30.
0.50 times 40 plus 10 will be equal how many? It will be equal 30. Did you see the big difference? Did you see the big difference? Okay,
Yes.
so the choice it will be, if you want to download fewer than 20, it will be Maggie's is better. But if you download more than 20, because once you will increase the number of downloads songs, the money will increase with Maggie
Yes.
than Josh. Understood this part?
Yes.
So this is where our lesson today, how we are going to compare two functions. Even if you have this functions in a table and graph, in equation and table, graph and equation, whatever. The third one, comparing a graph and description, which means its situations. Gamal want to buy a new game system that costs $200. He only has $100 today. So he compares layaway plans to different stores. Then his target to buy a new game system which that costs $200. He has 100. Then he want to complete the rest of the money in a layout plans, which means in installments, in per week, per days. Then he's going to pay the rest, but not in the same time. So he has two plans. The plan at store A is shown on the graph, which is the black one, the black line. The store B requires an initial payment of $60 and weekly payment of $20 until the balance is paid in full. Use the graph of the layaway plan at a store to write an equation in a slope-intercept form. Let x represent the number of weeks and y represent the balance owed. So in this one, he has how many? He has 100, right? See, so he owed how much? The cost of the cost of the new game system was 200, right, guys?
Yes.
The cost was 200. He has already 100. Then initial value, he has 100 and he should pay the rest. So we will calculate the slope from the table. Here we can select any two order pair, 0 and 100 and 10 and 0. When you will calculate the slope here, it will be equal -10. Then the first plan is y equal -10x plus 100. Okay? Second, use the description of layaway plan at store B to write an equation slope-intercept form. He said at the second situation, store B required an initial payment of 60. Okay? And already the cost was 200. Then we are going to subtract 200 minus 60. It will be how many? It will be 140. Then he has initial amount is 140 because the cost was 200 and already initial payment 60 is going to take from him 60. Then the rest it will be 140. And a weekly payment of $200 until the balance, which means he's going to pay $20 per week. So the second equation, it will be y equal -20x plus 140. We are going to sketch both and then we want to solve. How can you use the graph to tell which plan required the greater down payment? Greater down payment, so we have to look at the y-intercept. The first one is 100 and the second one is 140. Then which one it has a greater payment? The second one, which is 140, graph B. So store A required a greater payment down, the y-intercept balance owed at 0 for a store A is less than store B. So store A required a greater down payment. Compare the values of B in the equation. So the first one, this is 100. The second one is 140. How can you use the graph to tell which plan required the greater weekly payment and how can you use the equation? The slope for the store B is greater. Why? Because for the store A, he's going to pay 10. But the store B, he's going to pay what? 20. Then the slope for the second store, it will be greater. Then the slope or the unit rate of change for the store B is greater, so the store B required a greater weekly payment. Which plan allow Gamal to pay for the game system faster? I will try. Store B, the balance owed at the store B is 0 after only 7 weeks. Which one is going to pay faster? If we will try to make times 7 for after 7 weeks, -10 times 7, it will be -70, right? Hello, are you with me?
Yes.
Then for this one, he said, which plan allow Gamal to pay for the game system faster? Which one? after 1 week, Jamal will pay, huh?